Matthew 5:30. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body go into hell. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. Libito la K. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning Sabi, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. On this video, we are talking about a pastor in Emalahleni in Mpumalanga who decided to follow the Bible and cut off the hands of one of the guys who he believed that he was actually terrorizing and stealing from the church. So without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. A 58-year-old Solomon Mhlanga and his son, 20-year-old Enoch Mhlanga, appeared in a court, which is Emalahleni magistrate court, on charges of kidnapping and attempted murder. Here's the story of Dumisani Mahlangu, a 29-year-old thief who had his hands cut off. So Dumisani says that he was visiting a friend at 7 a.m. And he decided to use a shortcut which is in Kwakuka. And that's when he decided to take this shortcut that travels through the church. And while he was walking, a group of men who were armed were cornered him. And in that situation where there is chaos and armed men, whereby he tried to run away. And when he tried to run away, they told him that they're going to shoot him. Obviously shoot him to kill, or something to injure him or something like that. I don't know, maybe to kill him, so that he can allow them to apprehend him. And at that time, this pastor's son called his dad, because his dad was not amongst the men who were armed throughout this ordeal. And so Enoch decided to call his dad. When he called his dad to come, and his dad came, and it was two cars. It was his dad, and as well as the wife of the pastor, who did the do's of cutting off these hands, right? And so when he arrived, he arrived with a machete or a panga, something like that. A panga, let's say a panga. And when he arrived with this panga, they started assaulting Dumisani Mahlangu and assaulting Dumisani with sticks and all of those things. Dumisani says that he was so scared, and they decided to take him away and obviously tie him. And after tying him, threw him at the back of a bakkie that was driven by Apostle Mhlanga. And they went to a nearby field or bushes or something like that, where there are no people, obviously, and stuff like that. And when they got there, they still assaulted him and stuff like that. And the pastor decided to take out his panga. Mahlangu says that he was so scared. He thought that he was going to be killed by these angry people. And they decided to take one hand or one arm straight to the tree branch. When they took one arm to the tree branch, what am I saying, tree branch, and they started cutting his one hand. And at this point of time, obviously, you're crying, you are going mad, you are going crazy, it's painful and all of those things. You've just lost your own hand. And he says that he pleaded that the pastor must not cut the second hand, at least that he did something that that was not supposed to happen, cutting someone's hand because they stole and stuff like that. You know, when I said at the beginning of this video, the pastor actually took the Bible on to the other level. He decided to practice the Bible, the gruesome part of the Bible, took it to the next level. So the pastor continued cutting both of the actual hands, and now Dumisani Mahlangu doesn't have both of the hands. After they did all that, they decided to drive off. When they were driving off, Dumisani Mahlangu decided to ask them to call an ambulance because obviously he was bleeding profusely. So that means pain would kill you, as well as the actual bleeding, the blood, you are bleeding out, so you might die there because you are in the middle of nowhere. And he says that when he asked them to call the ambulance, one of them said that indoda ifela empini, so that means a man dies in a war, on a war, during the war. I don't know, something like that. I will just put up the actual translation over here. So they drove off without helping him, and he stumbled to the next road where he was able to find people that were there. It was like a security or something like that, and he told them that he needs to see a doctor, or he needs to go to the hospital ASAP. At that time, the people that he stumbled upon were scared to get close to him because this person doesn't have hands and this person is bleeding. Why must I get close to this person? At this time around, they decided to call an ambulance, and fortunately the ambulance came and took him for further treatment, obviously, because now there are no hands, there is nothing. And unfortunately for the pastor, he got arrested with his son, and they appeared in court, and the court was postponed to the 9th of April for the bail application. And also on top of that, Dumisani Mahlangu also did say that he is a thief. He is terrorizing the community because of his thieving ways, because he is also on drugs. So he has to steal products in order for him to sell them at a scrap yard, and also go and buy the drugs. You know, when you are addicted, especially when you are a drug addict and you do not have a job and all of those things, the next thing that you will be doing is to steal. And the community also says that they are having problems with people breaking in just to steal. This thing is like almost the same. Steal products in order for them to sell them to the nearest scrap yard. And also Dumisani Mahlangu's dad did also come out and talked about the whole ordeal. He says that the pastor, which means Solomon Mhlanga, shouldn't have done what he did. Yes, he confirms that his son is a thief, indeed a thief, but the pastor shouldn't have done what he did, because the pastor should be preaching peace and love and all of those things. So what do you think about this whole thing? For me, on my side, if he indeed stole from the church, as he says he did not steal anything, yes, he does say that he is a thief, but he didn't steal. He never stolen anything from the church at all. It is still his side at this point of time. It is not the side of the apostle Solomon Mhlanga. So we only have the one-sided story. I cannot wait to hear another story, and what proof did the pastor have to go to an extent of cutting off someone's hands. In South Africa, as the crime is super high, sometimes we take drastic measures to protect ourselves as citizens from these thieves, because it's either you die or they die. So it is the it is like a jungle. It is a survival of the fittest, and at this point of time, the fittest was the pastor. In as I said, unfortunately, he is behind bars because of this whole thing. And obviously, if Dumisani did steal from the church, yes, I don't agree with anarchy and all these things, but if you are a thief, you are going to get what you deserve. And this time around, if you did really steal, unfortunately for me, I'm saying you deserved it. Now you're not gonna steal anymore because you do not have hands. Maybe you can use your feet, or you can use your friends to steal, or you can be someone who's looking around to get these steal in order for you to tell your friends to go and steal, because you will never ever steal. And the father says that he has to deal with washing him, or rather bathing him, brushing his teeth, doing everything, dressing him, doing every single thing. I say he's gonna learn to do that himself. There's a lot of people who are born without limbs and hands and all of those things, and they are surviving perfectly fine. They went on with their lives, and they are educated, and they've got jobs. They know how to type, and now you don't even really have to type. You can just say words and your computer can type as well. So if he doesn't change his ways, he's going to suffer. He's gonna have withdrawal symptoms with his drug problems, and it's just going to be a mess. Please let me know what you think about this whole thing. I'll see you on my next upload. Please do like this video if you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic one. Peace out.